The Version Control tab in the IBM Cognos Administration Console is the location where you configure all of the settings to customize the integrated version control and integrated change management products to suit your needs. In the top section beneath Licensing, you can supply a license key or a trial key for integrated version control and integrated change management and enable and disable those products. Beneath Licensing is General Options. Back on the General tab in the Administration Console, we provided information about other IBM Cognos environments, such as Test and Production. We gave a friendly name for those environments. In this area, we're going to give the friendly name for this environment, which is Development. This will be used in several of the commentary dialogues during promotions so that we can automate commentary, such as promoting version 2 of a report from development to production. The next option is to enable or disable the report locking capabilities. Standard report locking is a feature of integrated version control which allows an author to lock a report or unlock a report at any point in time. This feature can be controlled using the capabilities in the Security Console. However, if this is not desired functionality and you want to disable the option globally for your environment, you can simply turn it off here. One of the features of the report locking capabilities is if a user forgets to lock a report, there is still a concurrent edit warning. What that means is if two users open the same report at the same time and neither of the users have locked the report, those users will receive a message that they are working in the same report and that there's the potential for concurrent edits. The final section in General Options is the diff application. The Compare Report Specification feature uses a third-party application, and that application needs to know if we're running on a Windows or a Unix platform. This is the operating system for which the ICS service is installed on. To the right of General Options is External Tracking ID. Tracking IDs are key for tying the work in the reporting environment to the work to be performed in the change management system. If you have a change management system, or a bug system such as Bugzilla or Jira or Fogbugs, or a homegrown system, you can provide the name of that system in here. That label will be used throughout the product wherever we display or ask the user for a change control number. If you do not have a change control system and you wish to disable this functionality, simply uncheck the box Enable Report Tracking ID. If you are using report tracking IDs, you can also check the box to require a tracking ID for major saves. This will ensure that when a user is entering commentary when saving a report, that they must also supply the tracking ID. And finally, if your change control system is web enabled, you can provide the URL to that change control system in the text box provided. The section where the squiggly bracket 0 squiggly bracket displays is the area which will be replaced with the tracking ID number. The next section is Self-Service Promotion. Integrated Version Control has a self-service promotion feature which allows authors to promote their own reports to the target environment. This feature can be controlled using the capabilities in the Security Console. You can provide access to this capability by user, group, or role. You can also turn this feature off globally by unchecking each of the boxes beneath Self-Service Promotion or revoking the capability. Oftentimes, a tracking ID system is being used for promoting reports as well. If that tracking ID system or change control system is the same for which you use for editing reports, then make sure that the tracking ID label under External Tracking ID and the tracking ID label underneath Self-Service Promotion are exactly the same. By doing this, the product will automatically copy tracking IDs from report versions to the promotion comments dialog during promotion. This will make the process a little bit easier and more consistent when promoting reports. However, if you do have different systems for modifying reports versus promoting reports, then supply a different name for that system in the Self-Service Promotion Tracking ID label. There are three options for self-service promotion. The most common is the Enable One-Click Promotion. Assuming that the environments, development, test, and production are mirrored in folder structure, Enable One-Click Promotion provides a URL for the user to simply promote the report to production. We do not need to ask the user where to promote it to because we already know it's in the same location. However, If the environments are not mirrored, or it's common to promote a report to a different location, you can enable the other options, promote over a specified report and promote to a specified folder. This will allow the user to choose which report or which folder to promote on top of. It's recommended that these options are turned off if your environments are mirrored. Finally, include security policies when promoting. If the security in your dev, test, and production environment are exactly the same and are always reflective of each other, then we want to turn this option on. That way, when the user is promoting a report, we also promote the security policies on the report by default. However, if the security from development, test, and production varies, then we want to uncheck this box. That way, the user does not accidentally promote security from the development environment to the test environment. The final section is the advanced settings. Integrated version control has a feature to import or export versions from one report to another report, thus merging the version revision history between the two reports. However, there's a caveat that the version numbers will be renumbered. This is an advanced feature and is typically used when correcting some problems or combining multiple reports together. It's not recommended that this feature be turned on and used as a normal best practice. The Enable Cross-Site Scripting Encoding is a feature that's available in IBM Cognos configuration. If you're using a product such as SiteMinder or other third-party cross-site scripting engine, then URLs that are supplied in the system must be encoded using cross-site scripting techniques. Integrated version control will not work properly in this environment unless these settings, including the encoding character setting, is in sync with the IBM Cognos configuration settings. Beneath the general configuration section is the baseline section. The baseline process is used to save a copy of every single report in the entire environment, thus spiking a version on every single report. Commentary can be supplied during the baseline process. It's required that system administrative credentials have already been supplied on the General tab, as this is a background process that needs to touch every report in the entire system. Optionally, you can enable baseline-only new reports without versions. As the process iterates through every report in the system, it'll see if the version control system already has a version for that report. And if it does not, it'll then, and only then, save a copy of the report. As well, you can check the box Verify Latest Version Matches the Content Store. When this option is checked, the process will not only check to make sure that the report has a version, but ensure that the latest version of that report matches the content store copy of that report. And if it does not match, it'll then spike a version. In a new installation or new environment, it might make sense to run a baseline of the whole environment. For periodic maintenance, you can check the two boxes and run the baseline, and it'll only spike a version on reports that are needed. One caveat to running the baseline is that the report's modification time will be updated.